What's going on, world? Thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my videos. My name is Jay Elu, and today we're going to be talking about the number one driving force in any crypto bull market. This doesn't just boil down to crypto, it really comes down to any market in general. And no, this isn't about price, it's not about charts, it's not about technology, not even narratives. The number one factor is community, because when you really think about it, everything in life boils down to community. And this all comes down to the collective belief and participation of everybody going towards one common goal. And before I dive deep into this topic, I'm going to give you guys a story about the campfire. So there are two villages. Both villages hear rumor that there's gold on a nearby mountainside. Village A hears this and immediately storms out and goes on their journey in search for gold. These people in this village go on solo missions. Nobody really talks to each other. They grab whatever resources they have and then they dart. They go straight to the mountain and search for that gold. And now you have Village B. These guys move a little bit different. Before anybody does anything, they all convene and talk to each other about the possibility of going to go grab some gold and bringing it back to the community. From day one, they set a campfire, they all convene around it, and they immediately start planning. They look to see what resources that everybody has, they pull it together, and they formulate a plan in order to maximize their opportunity and to make the most of it. So the journey begins, and both villages are out searching for that gold. Immediately in Group A, you find individuals that are holding big pots of gold in their hand. They're celebrating, they're so happy, they're running back home. And the key word that I'm saying, it's individuals. So immediately, Village A instantly find gold. Not everyone, just solo people collecting gold for themselves. They can care less about what the group is doing. They're just grabbing whatever they can and celebrating their wins. And there are people from Village A looking at these guys coming back down from the mountain with gold in their hands. And they're so happy and they're looking at them as the idols. And they think they could accomplish the same thing by following the same path that those guys are coming from. See, the problem with Group A is that they have a very selfish way of thinking. Nobody's really sharing what they learned. Everybody's just looking for a quick grab and figure out how to get rich quickly. But Group B, every night they reconvene by a campfire and use that as their North Star. And they talk about what they found and what they learned, and they share it with their community in order to obtain the maximum amount of gold. And this continues through Group B's entire journey, where every night they come back to the campfire, they sit around a circle, they bring the gold back that they found, and they redistribute their resources in order to maximize their finding. Or by the end of their mission, they're able to gain a lot of gold with very few casualties and very few people that leave in disappointment. But Group A, on the other hand, ends up suffering from a lot of disappointment, a lot of casualties, and overall, not too many people find gold because everyone had a very nihilistic way of thinking. Yes, everyone in Group A had the same goal of going to find gold, but ultimately, that was a failed mission for many because nobody really knew what they were doing. They just heard somebody shout and went to try to get rich quick, which we all know that rarely works out in this world. So why did I bring you the story of the two villages? Because like in investing, there's people that choose to build in the dark and those that build in the light. And many of us have learned in the world of crypto, those projects that are building in the dark where you don't really know who's building the project, what the technology is really about, and just overall a very mysterious way of operating business. Many people suffer casualties and end up losing a lot of money when trying to go on these solo missions and following people blindly for purposes that they themselves don't even believe in. Whereas with Village B, projects that build in the light, that are completely transparent, that tell you exactly what they're doing, and have a clear, defined purpose, vision, and utility for what they are bringing to the world, these projects tend to yield safer and more profits. Yes, every so often, just like with Village A, people find projects at the right time where they can capture 100x overnight. But what tends to happen with a lot of those projects is that they quickly burn and crash. And way more people lose than that end up winning. So be very careful when chasing after those types of projects. But when you continuously seek projects that are transparent and building in the light and that have real communities, your probability of burning and crashing is a lot less likely. And ultimately, if it is a failed mission, you're able to see it slowly dwindle away versus pumping up overnight and crashing just as fast. So just keep this story in mind as you search for projects during this bear season. I personally don't believe this is the time to run away from crypto, but it is a time to be systematic and strategically build a plan that works best for you. Yes, it is possible to find a project that can give you 100 or 1000x, but it's not probable. Instead, an easier way to go about that is to find a few projects that can give you a 10x. If you can replicate this 2 to 3 times within one cycle, there goes a 1000x right there. So just remember, fast isn't always better. Stay controlled, stay steady, and stay focused. And if you're just now getting into crypto, you're coming in at a perfect time, because this is the best time to start researching and figuring out exactly what's going on, and to start positioning yourself into projects and narratives that you see fit. Something you should write down is that communities move before prices do. Communities move before markets do. And here's some tips on how to find solid communities. Look for those projects that have that organic conversation, whether it be through X or Discord. Go ahead and search those projects and seek people who are there that are actually talking about what the project is doing versus price all the time. You'll see this a lot on X, Discord, and Telegram, where people are constantly talking about price. But the good news is, during a bear season, those price-driven people start to fade away and dwindle down, and it becomes way more easier for you to find communities that are actually talking about the project's use case and how to grow the ecosystem. Along with that, look for people who are talking about the projects and aren't being paid for it. If you see a community where there are hundreds of people talking about a project and who are obviously not being paid or being endorsed for it in any way, that's a really positive sign, because that shows that there are people who are investing their real time and energy into something that they truly believe in outside of money. And if you see creators creating content for these projects, that's a very positive sign, because once again, when people are putting their time and energy into something that they're not being directly paid for, that shows a level of belief that price itself couldn't drive. Lastly, to me, this is one of the most important. It is where the developers of the project are continuously engaging with the community and making sure that everybody is on the same page and stays updated with what the company is currently doing. For me, this instills a lot of confidence, because as many of you know, I'm a firm believer in energy. And if there's a solid mission and vision behind a certain use case and energy continuously gets poured into it, for me, the only direction for that is up. And it's only a matter of time before the masses start to catch on. And when you add a bull market to this multiplies it by infinity. And if you're brand new to this, you might not even know what it feels like. Project is actually organic, or if it's all just being farmed inorganically. But a good way to filter through these is that when a community feels like it's alive, even during a bear season, and trust me, during a bear season, everybody goes completely silent. When everybody goes silent, but yet there's hundreds, maybe thousands of people engaging within a community and continuously building, that's a solid project that will most likely yield profits when the market flips green. And for those of you who have been here a while, you can feel how shaky the markets are, how attention is very fragmented right now, and how impatient people are getting. But do not repeat those same mistakes that you have in the past cycles. This is exactly when you should be paying attention and start positioning yourself even more to maximize those profits for when it comes time for the bull cycle. So in closing, if you're only here for the fast money, you'll probably end up leaving early. But if you align with real people that are building real things, the bull market will reward you. So just stay patient, be smart, be confident, and stay focused. Like always, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Go ahead, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.